I'll take my cue from the monitor, John.
Camera one, in on Professor Elliot.
1 minute to do.
Good.
On you now, camera one.
Good. Now, let's see a close-up of Arnold.
Camera one, Arnold.
Good, hold
On you now, too. Hold it there,
now,
please.
give us a
That's
close
nice
shot of
one.
Mr. Drake. Where the hell is this Robertson woman?
Is she coming, John, or isn't she?
Well, if she doesn't turn up, we'll have to press on.
On line now.
Thank God for that. Wheeler on.
20 seconds
On
to
you,
go.
camera one. Stand by to roll
studio.
Internecine.
Go one.
15 seconds studio.
Stand by, studio.
Miss Robertson, I'm Arnold Price Jones,
Hello.
and this is Chester Drake.
Hello. I'm terribly sorry about this. I was held up in traffic.
You really had us worried there for a moment. Oh, this is Professor Elliot.
I know.
Quiet, studio.
2, 1.
Right, go ahead, studio.
Roll Telecine. Cue music.
Good evening. The world this week takes a look at inflation. Here this evening to discuss this matter is Professor Robert Elliot, author and lawyer, senior lecturer on economic studies at Harvard University, and special advisor on financial affairs to the United States Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And to pose the questions, Mr. Chester Drake, financial correspondent of the London Times, and Miss Jean Robertson, journalist, novelist, last year's winner of the Kern Award for Journalism, and currently the political correspondent on the Washington Daily News. Now, Professor Elliot, the constantly increasing spiral of wages and prices. What can we do about it? Can it be stopped?
I know in the United States last year, consumer prices rose a dramatic 8%. But then on the other hand, the overall prosperity of the country increased just as dramatically.
And yet wages always seem to lag behind prices.
Yes, but they catch up just as rapidly. The unions take care of that.
Surely, Professor, the only way to stop the race between costs and wages is to peg prices, to control the cost of living.
Well, in a free economy, control is a dirty word, Mr. Drake. I know that it's very tempting to introduce rigid controls of both prices and wages, but at what level? No one raises prices just to make...
Oh, hello.
I hope I'm not too early.
A bit, yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Gives us more time.
No, obviously, if a manufacturer can reduce his prices, he'll sell more and have a bigger profit. But with the increased costs of overhead, labor, raw materials, he's forced to meet these increases correspondingly.
Then you are arguing the case for control of wages, Professor.
No, not at all. The more money the working population earn, the greater the spending power.
And
Of course, as the world becomes smaller, every country, particularly America.
The European community. America has had to look elsewhere for its expansion. To Russia, for instance.
Oh, yes, that's right. The desire of both Russia and the United States to visit each other has done more to cool off the Cold War than anything the UN has ever done.
I imagine doing business with Russia.
Yes, they become extremely sophisticated in the market.
Mr. Baker, that test is set up, please, now.
Right. Mr. Clark?
Are you ready?
Yes, we are, sir.
Okay, let's see it then.
All right.
You right, Bill? Here we go then.
What was the frequency?
100,000.
Let me have your figures. I'll check them. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Right.
You keep talking about selling. I'm talking about political pressure.
I still don't think that's quite the issue here,
I am
Miss Roberts.
talking about putting the squeeze on little countries getting involved in their domestic politics.
I know that it's the nature of your...
Who, for instance, was really behind the military overthrow of the popular government in Rico last month?
I assume the populace.
It prevented EDC from losing millions of dollars.
EDC. Isn't your firm involved in EDC, oh boy?
Involved? They own us, old man. Bought us out 2 years ago.
Oh, take it easy, man.
Right, sir.
Well, in the world market, in order to maintain a balance of trade, it's essential that big corporations go into the underdeveloped countries. I have developed countries and exert whatever influence is necessary.
I am talking about...
I think we've gone far enough on this point, Miss Roberts.
Grip. Call the embassy.
Yes, sir. Lunch, Wednesday, 12:30.
Can I make that?
Yes, your meeting with International isn't until 3. Then you have a trade reception at 7.
Thank you. Thank you very much, you two, for using my show to pick a fight on.
Oh, we're old protagonists, aren't we?
Yes. So I gather. You're coming upstairs for a drink?
You have a conference call with Washington booked for 11:30, sir.
Well, there's your answer. I'm sorry.
I quite understand.
I'm
Goodbye.
so sorry,
Goodbye.
too.
Goodbye, and thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, thank you.
Yes.
Good night.
It was very nice.
Gene, thank you. You're coming on very strong to me in here.
Well, there was nothing personal. I was just trying to get at the truth.
The truth.
That's what my paper prints, is the truth.
God, for 5,000 years, men and women all over the world have been trying to discover what the truth is. You tell me your paper prints it?
Oh, come on. It's my job.
Job.
Yeah.
Listen, you're a bright, beautiful lady. Why don't you find a job that suits your talents
Well,
better?
like what?
Write a cookbook.
Oh, you chauvinist.
There's nothing that drives me up the wall more than crusading lady journalists.
Especially this one.
Car's just outside, Professor.
Thank you, Philip. Good night, Jean.
Robert,
What is it?
well, could I, have a lift, please?
You know, there is one thing I'll be thankful for when women finally achieve their equality. It'll give me a right to punch you right in that nose.
Do I get a lift?
Get in. Well, what brings you to London?
You.
Me? Come on.
No, I'm serious. Your news.
There was no coincidence that you were at that television interview, was it?
Oh, no, no. I used my charms.
Yes, I remember your charms.
How long has it been?
2 years.
2 years. Doesn't seem that long.
No, it doesn't, does it?
You've gone a long way. I would like an interview with you. Would you like to have dinner with me?
I'd love to have dinner with you.
I'll be staying at the Dorchester.
Driver, would you drop the lady at the Dorchester, please?
Yes, sir.
Will I call you?
Good.
Good night.
Ciao.
What? Well, of course I talked to Elliot.
What'd you get out of it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, Charlie, he's just not a very communicative kind of person.
Some way, and I want to know how.
I'll try.
Farnsworth is flying out there tomorrow.
Who's coming in tomorrow?
Hello.
I can't hear a thing. Betty, would you hold that for a minute? I just can't hear Washington.
E.J. Farnsworth is coming in tomorrow.
E.J. Farnsworth is coming to London? Huh. The plot does thicken.
Right.
Charlie, will you telex me everything you've got on Farnsworth, the whole schmear?
It's already on its way.
All right. Bye.
Do what you can, will you, honey?
I'll try, Charlie. Betty, get me everything you have in the files on E.J. Farnsworth.
E.J. Farnsworth? Who's he?
Don't worry, there's no problem. There's only one E.J. Farnsworth.
Excuse me, Mr. Farnsworth. Can you fasten your safety belt without
Oh,
tying it?
certainly, certainly. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed your trip, Mr. Farnsworth.
Splendid, Margaret, splendid.
It's nice to have you aboard, Mr. Farnsworth.
Well, thank you, Rogers. I'll be sure to ask you on the return trip.
Thank you. Goodbye, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Farnsworth.
Morning, Christopher.
Welcome to London.
Thank you.
Did you have a nice trip, sir?
Splendid, splendid.
Jolly good.
When I was a kid, they used to say anybody could be president. You know, I'm beginning to believe them. Oh, say, Bob, pardon me, excuse me just a minute. Hey, Bob Elliot, how are you? It's really good to see you. You're looking wonderful. Things are really hotting up. And I've got a lot to tell you. Say, how about a game of golf tomorrow?
Sounds great, E.J.
Professor Elliot?
Hi, Gene. How are you?
And the busy Mr. Farnsworth.
You know Miss Robertson?
Yes, yes, indeed.
Yes, whenever I end up at one of these receptions, you always seem to be there. I'm beginning to think there are two of you, Mr. Farnsworth.
There are really three of me, but who's counting?
One's enough. Well, I wonder what could be going on between the two of you.
You have a nasty, suspicious mind.
When the vice president of International Oil flies to London to meet the advisor for the Senate committee, something's happening.
I was just speaking with an army general from Red China. I suppose that makes me a communist.
If there was something in it for you, Mr. Farnsworth, I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Oh, come on.
Excuse me. I think I'll get a drink.
Well, that was subtle, Gene.
I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for.
I thought you news persons were supposed to be
I
objective.
don't like what he does to people.
Let me freshen your drink.
You must know what you're doing. Getting involved with people like that. You used to be such a nice guy.
Wow. Your game's improving. Say, you ever hear of, Senator McCauley? Oh, hell.
If you keep your left arm a little stiff right
Look,
now.
I spend a fortune taking lessons from the pro here. I don't need advice from you.
Well, what about him?
You're nearly on the green.
Senator McCauley, what about him?
You got a real friend there, boy, let me tell you.
I've never met the man.
He's got 10,000 reasons for liking you. In cash. I think I'll, use a number 5.
Oh, you should try 7. You'll knock it all the way over the
Who's
green.
making this shot, you or me?
Do it then.
Used to 7, EJ.
You know, we're working hard for you, boy. How would you like to be chairman of the President's Economic Advisory Committee? Huh? You know, our friends upstairs have put out a lot of effort to get you this job. It's what we've both been looking forward to for some time. You know, power is no damn good unless it comes from the top. Of course, there's a few loose ends that have to be tidied up. Skeletons and closets that have to be buried. By the way, this little network you put together here in Europe, is it big? How big is it?
No, it's small. 4 people.
Oh, well, then everything can be taken care of, right?
Is it really necessary?
Bob, I wouldn't want one guy walking around who knows things about you he's not supposed to know. Certainly not 4.
EJ. Now, I know just about everything there is to know about you. If I stood in your way, would you kill me?
I wouldn't think twice about it.
Elliot!
Elliot, is that you?
You're late again, Alex. It's getting to be a
No,
habit.
I'm
I
sorry,
expected
it was
you
the
some
traffic,
time
you
ago.
see.
What traffic?
I couldn't get a cab.
You weren't followed, were you?
No, I don't think so.
What?
No, I'm sure I wasn't followed.
Yes, well, something important's come up.
Important?
Critical, perhaps, is a better word. It seems your diplomatic career is about to come to an untimely end, Alex.
What are you talking about?
What does the British government do to top Foreign Office officials who take money from big corporations like EDC?
But nobody knows, only you and me.
No, there's one other person that knows now.
One other person? Who?
Well, at least they won't shoot you, will they?
What are you talking about?
Perhaps a few years in jail, maybe.
Now, look, is this some kind of a joke?
No, I'm not joking, Alex. I'm in this just as deeply as you are.
Look, what the hell are you talking about?
You must have said something to someone about that $3 million you passed to the military junta in Morocco.
No, I didn't. I mean, that deal was well and truly covered.
Yes, well,
I
not
was
well and
most,
truly covered enough.
I was most careful.
You weren't careful enough, Alex.
What do you mean?
Do you ever go to the Directors Club?
Oh, yes, of course I do.
You know a masseur there named Bert?
Yes, I know Bert.
Yes, so do I. I've used him occasionally for information I need about the executives. I pay him a few pounds. But he wants more than a few pounds for this information. He wants 10,000 pounds, Alex.
Bert?
Yes, Bert. Well, you have 10,000 pounds?
Yes, I do.
No, I mean, do you have 10,000 pounds for this month, 10,000 pounds for next month, the month after, and the month after that? Because that's the way it'll be, Alex.
I don't understand.
He has some tapes.
Tapes? It's impossible. Never said anything to anyone.
What's the matter with you?
Hmm?
Are you sick?
No, I just don't feel very well.
Now, he represents a threat to us, Alex. It's a very dangerous situation. Now, we have a great deal at stake here. You realize that, don't you?
Well, yes, of course I realize
Something
it.
must
What you
be
say is
done,
true.
right?
Yes, well, of course it must, yes.
What about killing Bert?
Hmm?
You ever killed a man, Alex?
What?
Have you ever killed a man before, Alex?
Oh, no, of course I haven't. What do you mean?
Well, it looks like somebody's going to have to be killed. And I'm afraid you're the one that's going to have to do it. David.
Well, Elliot,
How'd it go?
it took some doing to get it down to size.
But it does work.
It works. This is a damn sight more lethal than a bomb.
What's its range?
20 feet. Ahead of the specifications of the original model.
Right.
You switch it on here. This is a timing device. You set it like an alarm clock. But be careful how you handle it.
Right, there's no markings or identification or anything.
No, I assembled it myself.
Really very good, David. Thank you.
I don't imagine you need that to kill rats with.
No, can you get your drink?
Yes.
No, it's a simple matter of bartering. Boys in the Middle East are screaming for something they can trade for some oil. That may be just the device to do it. Scotch, all right?
Yes, please.
I'll have your fee sent to the usual address in Switzerland.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, David, do you have a minute? I would like to talk to you about something.
Yeah, fine.
I'm in a... Perhaps I should say, we are in a little trouble. The little organization that we've built together over the past few years is about to crumble. A little group, people like yourselves, given us invaluable information. I want to thank you and do everything that I possibly can to protect you. There's a weak link in the organization, and I'm afraid it's about to break. A man who I thought I could trust because he has too much to lose, now knows everything there is to know about you, me, the organization, EDC, the whole works.
Well, what does he want? Money?
No, but with just money, we could take care of that. No, I'm afraid he's been smitten by moral conscience.
Do I know him?
I don't know. Alex Hillman. Foreign Office? You see, that's where I thought I had it sewed up. Well, now he's begun to drink. He's sick. He's frightened. I'm afraid he's going to blow the whole scene. So, I'm afraid we're going to have to get rid of him. Of course, as we know, there's a morality in business, but killing a man is something else. But there's no other way that I can think of that you can stop a man from talking permanently. Don't you agree? Well, one thing will make it easier for you. You don't know the man. And the way I have it worked out, you'll never have to meet him.
You're asking me to kill somebody.
Well, I have no other choice.
But I thought there were people you pay to do that kind of thing.
No, but that's the whole point. We can't risk involving someone from the outside. Now, I have a plan worked out here. All you have to do is follow the instructions on this card. Follow them implicitly and you'll be protected. I promise you. We'll stay in touch with a series of phone calls on my private line here.
Elliot, don't ask me to do this.
I have no other choice, David. You're the only one I can trust.
I'm a scientist. My work is creative, not destructive.
Creative? What the hell do you call this little creation?
That's for defensive purposes. It's a deterrent.
That's what they said about the atomic bomb.
I don't want anything to do with this.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you say that, David. What the hell do you think you were involved in here? I mean, we have paid you quite well for your services, I believe. I've never heard you complain about that. How are you living anyway, David? Big house? Couple of cars in the garage? Lovely wife? Children in expensive schools? Huh? Time for you to pay up, David. Nothing is for nothing. Right. Friday night. That's this Friday night. You'll have a key to his apartment, and if you're there at exactly 7:30, he won't be there. I'll make sure of that. Now, he's a diabetic. He must take his regular dose of insulin. All you have to do is find out where he keeps his insulin and replace it with this.
What exactly is in this?
10 times regular dose. An accident. Well, David, if you can find an easier way of doing it, please tell me now.
You know what? You're quite good. I mean, for your age.
I do 20 push-ups every morning.
By yourself? Oh, must you go so soon, darling?
I'm afraid so, darling. I have to catch the 9 o'clock plane for Paris.
Oh, Paris! Take me with you.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm afraid my wife wouldn't like it. I tell you what, I'll bring you a very nice little present back from Paris.
You're very kind.
And you are very pretty. I'll call you as soon as I get back.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, darling.
Christine?
Yes? Oh, Robert. Hello.
I just about ran into your lover on the way up the stairs.
Oh, but you know that's nothing. I have some tapes for you.
Good.
And some film.
Really?
Yeah.
You ought
ought to get a kick out of some of those shots.
You know that I don't go for that scene.
I know. Well, there was this Japanese man, went on and on about some new phone system they're developing. I didn't understand a word of it. Yeah.
Phone?
And then there was this German man, this kind of German-Israeli merger or something. I really don't know. This is the film to go with it.
Should be fun. And that's for the rent.
Oh, gee. Thank you.
Now listen, Christine, I have a job for you Friday night.
Oh, but I thought we were having dinner Friday night.
Oh, I'm sorry. This thing came up. It's very important. I can make it up to you.
Yeah, all right. Now, what's that?
This is a radio transmitter.
You're a regular little CIA all on your own, aren't you?
It's your instructions. Now, pay very close attention. You want a drink?
Oh, no, no, thank you.
Now, you leave the apartment at 7:15. But before you go, call that number there. Let it ring 3 times, then hang up.
But can't I just call to say I'm leaving?
Come on, Christine, 3 times. Now, that's the game, huh?
Yeah, all right, 3 times.
Now, you arrive at the apartment at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock exactly, not before, not after. Before you go up, there's a phone booth in front. Go into the phone booth, call that number again, let it ring 3 times, and hang up just as before.
God, I never remember all this.
Sure you will.
Who lives there anyway?
You don't really want to know that, do you?
No, not really.
The key will let you into the apartment indicated. Now, as soon as you've entered, you take the radio transmitter. Now, you take the device and place it in some concealed spot anywhere in the room, under a table, behind a chair, anywhere, just as long as it's pointed in this direction toward the middle of the room. Now, that's very important. You understand that?
Yes, I think so.
Now, just before you leave, you remove the tape, switch it to on, and nothing will happen. But don't touch it. Don't meddle with it. Just leave the room, go down to the phone booth, call me one more time to let me know that you've finished the job, let it ring 3 times, then out, back to the apartment here. You should be here at 9 o'clock. Call me just as soon as you've arrived.
You expect me to remember all that?
Oh, well, not right away, perhaps. But I'll be here till you do. Even if it takes all night. Now, let's start at the beginning. What's the phone number? No, don't look at it.
794-4240.
Very good.
I leave this apartment at 7:15. Before leaving, I phone that number 3 times. I have to be there at 8 o'clock. Now, before going in, I go to the phone booth and phone that number 3 times again, right?
My, this is a surprise.
Hello, Bert.
Well, a pleasure, sir. A real pleasure.
May I come in?
Please.
Yeah, what we hear.
Through there, sir. Yes. My little menagerie. And some of my trophies. I was in the East African Rifles, you know, 15 years.
Were you really?
Yes.
15 years? Good Lord.
I was just about to make a pot of tea if you fancy some tea, sir.
No, thank you, Bert. I really don't have the time.
Oh, Pushkin, Fred, off you go. Let the professor sit down. There we are, sir. Or a nice glass of beer if you fancy a beer, sir. Nice cup of scotch.
No, thank you, Bert. Not right now.
Well, this is an honor, sir. A real honor.
Well, there's no need to tell you how much we value the information that you've given us.
Thank you, sir. Only too glad to be of service, sir.
And we appreciate that.
Well, that reminds me. I made some notes somewhere. I overheard this conversation. Very interesting it was. Very interesting. There were these 2 gents from this steel company.
Oh, there's no need to worry about that now, Bert.
Oh, no, sir. No. I believe in being thorough. Ah, here we are. It's all down here, every detail. I think you'll be pleased with that, sir.
Oh, yes, yes. It's very efficient.
I like to be methodical, sir. Well, now, what can I do for you this time, sir?
Well, I have quite a serious problem, Bert. I was hoping that perhaps you would be able to help me solve it.
You can rely on me, sir. You know that.
It seems there's been a security leak. It could affect the entire operation.
Well, that is serious. Very serious.
There's a woman involved.
A woman?
Yes, I thought I could trust her, but...
That's where you made a mistake, sir. If you forgive me saying so. Oh. They're not to be trusted, sir.
This one is a high-class whore.
They're all whores, sir.
Well, I thought you'd be useful to us for a while, and she was. But now she seems to be playing both sides of the fence. And...
Typical.
Yes. Well, it seems I made a bad mistake.
Nothing we can't put right, sir.
What would you suggest we do?
Well, if you ask me, I think we'd be better off without her, sir.
Could I have a drink now?
A nice drop of scotch, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, women are all the same. Going about, showing themselves off. They're unclean, sir. That's what they are. Unclean. I hate them. Every one of them. I hate them.
Do you think that you could take care of her for me?
I dare say so, sir. Any particular plan in mind, sir?
Friday, are you working Friday?
Till 8 o'clock, sir.
8 o'clock. Yes, well, I'll get a key for her apartment. Oh, this has to be very carefully planned. Now, I don't want you incriminated. You're far too valuable to us for that.
I trust you, sir.
No, I'll work something out and get the details to you just as soon as I can.
We can deal with it, sir. Don't you worry.
Yes, thank you, Bert.
Bob. I don't know. 4 murders in one night doesn't seem to be a very reasonable way to approach this thing. I mean, the police...
No, there's not going to be 4 murders. 2 at the most.
Well, you just told me there was 4 people.
It's no longer your problem, E.J.
Well, we got a hell of a lot at
I
stake
have
here.
assumed responsibility, right?
And, you won't be connected with us?
No.
Okay, when? I mean, when does this take place?
Friday night.
Then I better leave right away tonight for Washington.
Yes, I think you should.
Well, I can't afford to hang around.
No, you can't.
Well, of course I can't. You must understand that.
I do.
Well, you're gonna be a very important, powerful man, Bob. One day, you will have forgotten all about this little unpleasantness, you know what I mean?
Listen, that guy reminds me. Remember that restaurant down on the beach in what the hell was the name of it? Yeah, it was kind of a club. The El Topo. El Topo. That guy.
Smash.
It was something else that day.
Oh yeah.
That night too, as I recall.
Ah, you like. To Costa del Sol.
To happy memories.
I loved you. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know that.
Did you know you loved me?
got to.
Is that why you walked out on me?
Oh, Jean. I don't know, maybe.
One travels faster alone and all that.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, I'm sorry.
Maybe you were right. You certainly travel fast, right? Up to the top.
No, that's the top.
Almost to the top, right? Up there, right where all the power is. Yeah. That's where the power is.
Have you ever been? Who can't see me? Why? The committee, the presidential advisory committee.
Right. Oh, good. I'm in. Almost.
Why?
Why?
Why? I mean, now, why was that?
Why? Because they might realize that you're human. You're a human being. They wouldn't like that.
That's because I'm feeling particularly human tonight. What do you think?
I think you're beautiful.
You're really stoned.
Yes, but you do look beautiful. You know something? You're a bastard. You're a real bastard.
The enclosed key will let you into the woman's apartment. Phone me from the call box by the apartment as soon as you arrive. The girl will be alone. I will arrange that. And in this cellophane packet is a tiny fragment of human skin. Skin invariably collects beneath the nails of a woman who's been savagely attacked. Place the skin under the fingernails. This should keep the police pathologist busy for a time. So you see, I am doing all I can to protect you. With these instructions, you will find a key to a left luggage locker at Marylebone Station. The number is on the key. You go to Marylebone Station directly from your apartment.
Anything else I can get you before I go?
No. Good night.
Good night, Miss Robertson.
Yes, hello.
Oh, Robert, I'd like to see you.
I'm right in the middle of something. I've got to finish it by tomorrow, so...
Please, Robert, I want to talk to you.
Gene, listen, I'll call you in the morning, huh? Good night.
David, damn it, where are you? Gene.
I'm sorry I had to.
Well, listen, what the hell? I told you I was busy.
Well, you gonna slam the door or what?
No. Come on in. I'm sorry.
Are you expecting somebody? I mean, do you have a date?
No, I don't have a date. I'm simply working on my speech. Now, what is it that can't wait till morning?
What am I? Am I a one-night stand?
Oh, Gene.
Sorry.
Don't
Listen.
look at me. Please.
Listen. Come on. So you're going to get the hell out of here so I can get back to work. Hmm?
Your phone's ringing.
Yes.
It's David.
How have you been?
I was seen. Some woman, she saw me.
Will you get home as quick as you can? Call me when you get there.
I've put you in a terribly embarrassing position. I'm sorry.
No, just an associate that, Gene!
There's no need to explain. Really, no explanation is necessary.
Yes, well, I can't go through with it.
What?
Can't go through with it. I just can't do it. That's all. You'll just have to find someone else.
Where are
I'm outside the club. Now look, you must try and understand it.
Alex, you're going to go through with it just as we planned.
I don't care anymore, you see. I mean, what happens to me, I just cannot go through with it.
Alex, I'll tell you what's going to happen to you. You're going to be finished, wiped out. I thought I made that clear. We've been through all of this before.
You wouldn't do that, would you? You wouldn't do that.
You just try me. Now you go round the back of the club. You wait for him. He should be there any minute now. Do what you have to do, and then you call me 5 times, just as we planned.
I know all that.
Listen to me, goddammit. Now, it's either you or him. Now, what's it going to be? Huh? Alex, all right? All right, Alex?
All right.
Come on, Alex. Alex? Alex?
Elliot.
Why the hell didn't you call me?
Yeah, I was going to call you. Elliot, I meant to call you. It was just that
What's the matter with you? Are you drunk?
I just don't feel
You're sick.
Just don't feel too grand, you know. It's the diabetes, you know. So,
Well, maybe you better take your injection.
no, I did. Before I.
Well, how'd it go?
I'm not sure.
You what?
She,
Would you do it?
Yes, I did it. Did it. But I hit him. But it's easier than I expected. Anyway, we've done it, Elliot. We've done it. We've done it. See? We've done it. And we...
I sent you there.
Well, I understand your problem, but there must be somebody who can take over this assignment.
Well, there isn't.
Well, I can't get any place with Elliot.
What's the hang-up, Chief? Personal?
Personal? Yes. I mean, it is. It's personal.
You don't want to believe Elliot's sold out.
Yes.
Am I wrong, Gene?
No? You're right, as always.
Are you going to do your job?
Yes.
Tell Elliot he's on borrowed time.
Whatever you say.
I'm sure it's something you'll be able to live with.
Yes, well, for 800 pounds, I certainly hope so.
It has an abstract quality which is most original. Don't you find so?
Yes, it's quite interesting.
This just arrived by special delivery, Professor.
What is it?
I've no idea.
Here you are.
Thank you, sir.
I'll take these bags down now, Professor.
We are having an exhibition of Magritte's work in January. I'm sure you'd be interested.
Thank you. I'll make a point of that.
Well, good day to you, sir.
Good day.
Your plane's at 2 o'clock, which means you must leave here not later than 12:45.
12:45.
Oh, madam.
Ah, it's Robinson.
Professor at home?
Yes, he's in the study.
Well,
Oh, Gene?
you made it. Just came over the telex. A special statement from the PR office of the White House. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
I think that calls for a drink.
I've got a 2 o'clock plane to catch. That means I have to leave at 1 o'clock.
Okay. You'll make it. You always do.
Brandy all right?
Fine. Oh, I'm sorry about last night. I realized I couldn't have been more wrong. Oh, the only thing that you're involved with is yourself. Yourself. It's your work.
I'll drink to that. Well, when are you coming back to Washington?
They've really got you, haven't they? They've got their man right up there where it counts. EDC and Farnsworth can run the government any way they want because good old Professor Elliot is right in there next to the president. I hope they're paying you a lot of money.
Yes, they are.
Oh.
Gene, there are a hell of a lot of things in this world that need to be done. And to do them, the right man has to be in the right place at the right time.
Are you the right man?
Yes.
You know, it's usual in a civilized society to wait until you're elected to a post. Not smash your way through whether you're wanted or not.
That's why the whole world is falling around all about us, because we're waiting for the right man to be elected.
That's called democracy, don't you remember?
Yes, the whole world's governed by a bunch of democratically elected amateurs. There's no time for that anymore, Gene.
Or a little fascism can go a long way.
You don't seem to understand that there are things that I believe in very deeply. I'm not about to wait around for a bunch of half-assed politicians to screw things up when I know that I can do a hell of a lot better job. And that's not vanity or conceit or a damn thing. That's pure honest conviction.
The end justifies the means. You know, sir, there's a lot of us poor, downtrodden peasants who don't happen to agree with you.
That's why you're peasants.
This particular peasant doesn't intend to stay down.
Oh, well, Gene, you're stuck in time. Kind of an argument went out with the Cold War and flower children.
Well, there's something else. You know, I've been digging up a lot of stuff, and the more I kept digging, the more I kept finding out that you were involved. I'm going to write about it, Robert. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to throw the mud against the wall, and some of it is going to stick to you.
Well, write it then, Jean.
I damn well will.
I have never ever really trusted you, Elliot, and it would be reasonable, therefore, to suppose that should I die an unnatural death, you and your organization are likely to be responsible. I've been working for some months now on a highly toxic substance under a War Office contract. The poison is long-lasting and will penetrate the skin. The pages of this notebook are completely saturated in this poison. And by the time you've read this far, you have about 5 minutes left to live.